one of the things that I've been thinking a lot about since you've asked me to have this chat is obviously your brand talks about authenticity.
Yeah.
And with someone who is neurodivergent, it's very difficult to explain terms anyway, because it's a very vague term. But also, and this person that was watching on TikTok talked about whether masking is fake.
So whenever people are talking about masking and unmasking in the context of autism, it often comes off as being like, oh, your real self, your actual true core immutable self is the unmasked version of you. And so when you're masking, you're being someone who you're not. You are pretending, you're faking or something. And that's why unmasking is good, because then you don't have to pretend. You can be yourself. Yada. I feel like that's possibly a false binary. I feel like the concept of there being a real version of anyone, I don't think actually that really exists. But let's talk about this idea that if you are putting on a mask for whatever reason, it must mean you're being inauthentic in some way, right? Sometimes that character, that so-called mask, that pretending, can be more real than just sort of being yourself. It helps, it sometimes helps sort of open up a pathway to a part of myself that I feel is important to me or represents me in some way, but allows it to be real in a way that trying to do this outside of the stage wouldn't work.
And I kind of feel like that's the same with someone who's 1.5 generation, right? Who me putting on a different characteristics when I'm at work or at home doesn't necessarily mean I'm fake, but it's my way of just maybe making sure that I can get my work done, I can get along with people. I'm still me, but it's not exactly it's not 100% me, but I'm still me. And also partly it's just to make things easier for everybody that's involved. If I were exactly who I am at work and at home, I think my mom would be really crazy. She would drive her really crazy, But the same, if I do anything that I do at home, at work, I know my workmates won't appreciate it. It's just a lot of that. I think it's it's not necessarily, I wouldn't call it fit in, but it's just so that it adjusts to the environment.
I agree, because throughout the years a lot of people thought I was extroverted because I look like I'm extremely outgoing and all that. I mean, the reason why I can immerse myself into those environments because I like talking to people. As a matter of fact, I'm very private, introverted. Not many people really know who I am. So I agree. I also felt sometimes which one, because I also neurodivergent as well. I have ADHD. Not until just 3 years ago I was diagnosed, but then I can start seeing that's why sometimes I do things without thinking. I will just go ahead and do it, and then I shouldn't or say things. But I never also have that hyperactive energy. I'm very feminine, so my energy is inwardly, not outwardly expressed, except when I'm talking to people. And if you ask me which one is the real Ivan, I would say the real Ivan is the one that who always, just love people. Basically, whoever that is. But then whatever that persona I have, not necessarily is me. Like what you say, sometimes it's a culturally shaped. Because our Asian culture, you have to be polite. That's culturally shaped. But sometimes I also want to say,
And I think, it's interesting being a neurodivergent 1.5 generation in a foreign country and learning about, how I sort of shifted my personality depending on where, and also maybe heavily influenced by my neurodivergency. and it's that I don't feel like I'm not me when I'm in different settings, even though I look different.